Hi, and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Phil, aka Phil, and today I have something special which I was able to borrow from my friends at Photoprophy Wrestling. Special thanks to them. I will link them below in the description, although I'm not sponsored. I wish I would. But yeah, today I want to try this beautiful lens. It's a vintage Nikon 55mm f1.2. So look at this beautiful glass. And since it's a vintage Nikon lens, of course I had to try this on my Nikon ZF, which is a retro designed camera. And paired with this lens, you of course have to need an adapter. I have one from K&F Concept. I will link this below in the description. But combined with this adapter, you are able to connect this lens. And that's basically the setup you have on the Nikon ZF, which definitely looks impressive since the lens is quite big, thanks to this big piece of glass of 1.2 aperture. And in my opinion, the aesthetics of this lens matches perfectly with the retro design of the Nikon ZF. So aesthetically, I really like that. And something I criticized often regarding lens choices for the Nikon ZF. There's currently no native Nikon lens which has a retro design, including aperturing. You only have the 40mm f2, which I also own and use a lot. I love that lens, and the 28mm f2.8, which I mainly use to shoot my YouTube videos. Also a great lens, but both of them don't have aperture rings. They only have retro design, completely plastic. Thanks to that, also very lightweight, but it misses the vintage experience. Currently only Vogtländer offers these kinds of lenses. So you have a native set mount lens with aperture ring and retro design. So therefore you can have that retro experience currently only from Vogtländer. That being said, I was excited to try a Nikon lens from back then, and this lens somehow piqued my curiosity because it has a focal length of 55mm and as I already mentioned, aperture wide open to f1.2. I already know that this will be very hard to focus manually. I did a video already with an 1.4 lens. I adapted the Summilux Leica lens on the Nikon ZF already, link up here. And there I already realized that it's quite difficult to focus at that kind of aperture. But nonetheless, yeah, let's go out, shoot this. Weather is currently overcast, which might work in my favor to shoot wide open. And let's see what kind of images we can get with this lens. Yes, what do you think about this vintage lens? I have to look at the images more in details at home, but from what I previewed, the images are looking quite soft or wide open, which is no surprise for a vintage lens like this one. I'm not sure when it was released, to be honest. But shooting it wide open, it seems to be quite soft. But nonetheless, it was quite fun to shoot this combination with the ZF on a vintage lens and just see what kind of images I can get shooting wide open. As you might see in some of my images, some images are overexposed, although I was shooting at 8,000ths of a second, so you can see what a wide aperture like this does in daylight. So in some situations when the sun is shining, you might need an ND filter to utilize that 1.2, since the mechanical shutter speed of the ZF was maxed out. After using this lens, I have to say I'm curious how the Voigtländer lineup for the Nikon cameras feels and experience like, because yeah, I like this vintage tactile manual focus experience on the ZF. With this specific lens, already mentioned, focusing at 1.2 is quite difficult, simply because the depth of field is basically not available. And yeah, I tried to shoot some street photos with this, but it was impossible to focus on. What I personally don't like, but that's an me issue, is that the aperturing turns in the different direction that I'm used to from my Leica lenses. So the closest focus distance is on the right, and if you want to focus to infinity, you have to go to the left. And on the Leica lenses, and I think most other lenses, it's the other way around. Therefore my muscle memory is a little bit messed up on this lens, so something you can get used to, but I prefer to have the experience on all the lenses the same. Yes, basically just a quick experience video from a lens I was able to borrow from Fotoprofi in Essling. The images were unfortunately nothing special. Most of them are also already mentioned autofocus, and since it was sunshine here, Some were also flared a lot. That's because of this old lens, and I didn't have a lens hood, but nevertheless I had my fun, and I hope you enjoyed watching this too. As I already mentioned, after using this, I'm hoping that Nikon will bring out a modern vintage lens soon. Nikon is currently on fire. All the latest cameras they released are incredible, and a lot of established YouTubers are also acknowledging Nikon finally. So let's hope for new lenses in the future, specifically for the Nikon ZF. If you're still watching until this point, thank you very much. You are the one who deserves a like. And if you want to support my small little channel, you can check the affiliate links below in the description, or buy me a coffee, link also in the description. And if you want to see more videos on my channel, just click on one of these, and have a nice day.